Hey, this is Math Minutes Pro with Dr. Harrison. Today, we will talk about how to divide decimals. Now, before we get started, I want to discuss parts of this division problem. So, here we have a division problem, 0.3918 divided by 0.03. This number right here is referred to as our dividend. This number right here is referred to as our divisor. And when you perform the division problem and you get your answer is referred to as the quotient. Now, before we get started, we want to always be clear about what our strategy is. So our strategy is to move the decimal point in the divisor right here to the right to make it a whole number. And then we're going to move the decimal point in our dividend the same number of spaces to the right that we move the decimal point in the divisor. Once we do that, then we will be ready to perform our division operation. So let me first rewrite this problem here, and I'm going to write it based on how I want to say it first and then write it based on how I say it. So in this case, I have 0.3918, and that is divided by 0.03. All right, so we have our division symbol. So let's first do what we said in our strategy. You always want to know what you're going to do before you start doing anything. So our strategy is to move the decimal. Now, to turn this divisor into a whole number, we have to move it 2 spaces to the right. And since we moved that decimal 2 spaces to the right in the divisor, we have to move this decimal 2 spaces to the right also in the dividend. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead and rewrite the problem. So I'm going to go ahead and write the division symbol first. We have 0.3918, and that is divided by 0.03. All right, let's go ahead and perform our division. Can you see? I want to see if I put an error in there, and I want to see if you can catch that error. Usually students will make this error. Can you see it? There's an error over here, but I put that there on purpose. Yes, you notice I wrote the same divisor in the same form over here, and we were not supposed to do that. So I'm glad you caught that error. And a lot of times I like to do error analysis in some of my videos. So remember, we moved that decimal 3 spaces to the right. And there's also an error here because all we did was just copy the problem the same, and that's not what we were supposed to do. So there was an error with the divisor and the dividend. So I made that error so that you don't have to make it, okay? So let's rewrite it again, and this time let's do it correctly, all right? So we'll go ahead and put our division symbol, and remember, our divisor should be 3, and our dividend should be 39.18. Now we are ready to perform the division. So 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 times 1 is 3. Draw the line and subtract. So subtracting, we get a 0 here. We bring down the 9. 3 goes into 9 3 times. So I'll put that 3 above the 9. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract. Now I want to bring that decimal up right there, right? So then naturally would bring down the 1 right there. 3 cannot go into 1, all right? So since we know that's true, we're going to put a 0 right above the 1. 3 goes into 1 0 times. Now bring down that 8. But 3 can go into 18. How many times? You're right, 6 times. So 3 times 6 is 18. Subtract, and what we get is 0. So we have successfully divided this decimal problem. Looks great. Now I'm going to go into identifying the parts. I just want to make mention. Now remember, complete definitions, as I am explaining, all of these definitions and terms are included in the description below of this video. So what we know is that this number right here is our divisor. So draw an arrow. This is our divisor. Okay. And this number here, I think I'll draw an arrow over here. This is our dividend. Very good. And then lastly, our answer, which is 13.06, is our quotient. So again, we have successfully divided this decimal. Our strategy was to move the decimal place 2 spaces to the right first with the divisor, and then 2 spaces to the right second with the dividend. Rewrite the problem as 39.18 divided by 3, and then perform the division algorithm. An algorithm is nothing more than a sequence of steps. So thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out my Patreon page in my video description below. On my Patreon page, you can get access to exclusive math videos, exclusive study tips, live Q&A, and more. See you next time.